Hello! I am recording now. Yeah. And live streaming. This is gonna be my video for today. Slash progress thing. Probably gonna be up for a couple of hours. Something like that. Hold on a sec. My apologies for that loud noise. Just had to rearrange a few wires. Yeah, got a lot of wires. Let's count them. We got the one wire from my webcam going all the way back. We have two wires coming from my drawing tablet going down into a hole. We got my headphone wire and my mouse. So, yeah, lots of wires. I guess I can kind of show you my setup. So, if you can see it, the contrast is kind of look at these two USB hubs down here. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a mess. There we go. A little bit more natural. So I got a little numpad next to me because that's a little bit more easier to move around. I use that for shortcuts. I got my actual keyboard for other shortcuts, mainly stuff involving like Control-C, Control-V, stuff like that. Yeah, so I got a bunch of photos of my own hand, which I'm going to be using as reference for drawing. So, yeah. So let's just do a few, like, just practices, warm-ups, and stuff like that. In other words, I'm just gonna... One thing I do for warm-ups is that I just kind of make a bunch of shapes. It's a circle, triangle, square, pentagon, a hexagon. I tried to make them as neat as possible. And then finally, an octagon. I do this because they're all like really kind of complicated shapes and stuff like that. And hands are often made of a lot of these different types of shapes. Like, for example, get the square for the base of the palm. The inside of the palm kind of has this triangle thing going on. More of a modded triangle. Then you can turn it into like a minor pentagon for a little bit more of the shaping of it. You can also simplify it as just like a general circle and stuff like that. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Whew. So, yeah. Make a kind of like a second pentagon like this. And you can kind of get your fingers. Kind of throwing your thumb. And you got kind of like a basic hand going on. Really messy, really rough. So what I'm going to be doing next is just going to be taking one of those hands. Let's take... what's a good one to start with? Let's just do a basic fist. Oops. Yep. That was actually from something a while ago. Can't just... Yep. Do I just need to... You know, let's just download all this. Let's go back up a stage. Hands. Let's download this. Just so I can drag the images in. I should have tried practicing this out a little bit more. This is like a thing that I... this is Photoshop. Honestly, this is my thumbnail. I might as well show it as we're waiting and stuff. So, yeah. I don't usually use a lot of Photoshop simply because I don't like it for drawing. So, I don't... Plus, I'm not as familiar with it. I've been using Clip Studio Paint more. Yeah. Okay, so now we have a proper thing of things. And I kind of want to drag this on. I'm not dragging on, but just kind of make sure that... Copy this, put this here, right? Or can we just drag it? Okay, so we'll just have this here. Okay, so now we actually, after that bit of a mess, we're actually going to start drawing now. So, as we see here, oops. This is kind of like how the palm is generally shaped in this. So this is how it would look, pretty much, like kind of like broken down. So, what I would like to do next. This is, in a way, pretty much a pentagon. This is the top, one side, the fourth side, and fifth side. Let's do the R erase. Uh, Sometimes you'll see my tool thing over here not switch to the eraser when I use the eraser, because I set my what was normally the middle mouse button on my stylus to switch eraser between pen and eraser. But when it's in eraser, I can't switch my tool, so I have to switch it back to pen mode in order to be able to switch my tool again. And it only is the last eraser I use. So if I want to change what kind of eraser I use, I have to switch the tool to eraser, and not just keep pressing this, which only changes it when I hold it to the monitor, because it's a batteryless pen. Okay, so okay. I feel like my fists are just getting more and more wonky. So if you're wondering what I'm listening to, it's HGQ. I just don't have the audio on because, well, I think that would be kind of, I don't know. I don't like putting audio on unless I know it's okay. I bet they would like free advertisement, but I just don't feel comfortable doing it. Yeah, let's just move on to a different hand. You know what? Okay, so let's break down this one. Okay, so this is our shape breakdown. So let's try... Okay. Definitely a lot better than the breakdown. Sometimes stylization does help with the image. Okay. Okay. Sorry if I'm just doing all that weird stuff in the background. Got 2 monitors, so yeah. So the image breakdown for this. Okay, so right now on the AGDQ stream, the entire stream is muted, and the stream hasn't. I don't think they noticed yet in terms of like the staff, and that's been going on for like 3 minutes. That's interesting. Okay, so. Okay, think I found a better window configuration setup. Yay. Okay. Back to drawing the actual hands. So. Hey, the sun's back for the stream. For GDQ. Okay. Kind of have a fist going on here. Good fist, good fist. There's your shape breakdown. Oop, what? Okay. Okay. So now let's change the angle. Okay. Do. Okay. Okay, I think the clenched fist has been conquered. It's been conquered. I would say it's been conquered. Very conquered. So. So, let's do this one more. I think I need to do a second breakdown. Oops. Oops. I think my cat's calling me. I think that's just the stream, because he wasn't outside the door. Some good old iced tea. How many people are watching? I think just myself. Yeah, that is the stream for the cat noise, which is the Chow from Sonic Advance 3. They sound like cats. They sound like cats. So, this is kind of hard to draw. It's kind of weird, awkward thing. It's hard stylized. Okay. So, let's just tackle another hand. Clenched fist. Boom. Rename. Now it's a new folder. Do. Will be a nice one to work with. Okay, so the palm kind of looks like this. Okay, so this is our basis to work with. Okay. Oops. It's kind of an hand. Yeah, it's getting a little bit cramped. My hand doesn't get really cramped from doing sketching traditionally, but it does digitally because I don't like drawing at an angle. That's just something I don't like. I like drawing flat. Hand stretches. Okay. Let's go to the next. Not that bad. But, yeah, that's not a good picture. That's a better picture. Okay. Now let's have a slightly more complex object in there that isn't just a stick. So, okay. But So we just get our basic shape breakdown. Okay. Okay, so okay. This is really messy. Just look at this. You're going in too much detail in your initial basic shapes. Am I? I guess. Okay, let's try breaking it down a little bit more. So, okay, negative, positive. Okay, so that's the case. Let's go here. Let's go to my rough shading pencil and shade in the use cones, cylinders, squares, rectangles from there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of shade in the negative space so it's a little bit more obvious for me. You know, let's shade in. Okay, get like that. Let's go over again. Let's break down the shapes even further. Okay. Oops. Got our square. Pay attention to the angles of the initial image as well. Yeah, so I'm just going to break down this one. That's a circle. It could be just simplified as a triangle. Okay, let's try it like this. Do I have our mug image? Let's try another mug image. Boop, 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 boop. See how the knuckles from your drawing initially break down isn't exactly the same. Oops. Yeah, the initial breakdown was not that good. Okay. So, thanks for the advice. So, let's break this variation of the image down. Break the fingers into groups for this one. Okay. Thanks, Tyrone. Okay. Okay, let's do a detail breakdown. Just see what it looks like if we just trace it. Tracing can be good in a lot of ways when it comes to your own photos, obviously just for practice, but for practice, it gets your hands used to what things should feel like when you're making them, like the final lines at some point. It really helps out. Okay. How long have I been streaming? Over an hour. Huh. Cool. Time flies when you practice. Okay. Now time to freehand. Okay, so that's my basic. That's my goal. Okay. So okay, so let's extend this bit. Yeah, that does need to be a fair bit lower. This, that. It's okay. Not the best. Could do better. Okay, so what's the next image? Ah, the reverse view. Let's do the reverse view next. Bip. Okay. Reverse view time. Let's change the contrast on this image so it's a little bit easier to see. It's Shift A. No. Control A. No. Here we go. Remembering my custom shortcuts. Actually, I think it would be... Here we go, level collection. Here you go. Okay, now for the detail sketch. Okay. How do I want to detail these knuckles? Oh yeah, I've been playing games recently. One I've been playing most recently is a indie game called Dead Cells. It's like a combination between Metroidvanias, roguelikes, and Dark Souls all into one combination. Normally, I don't usually like Dark Souls games or Dark Souls-esque games, but how it does it is really fun, and oh, the character controls like butter. I might play it later. In fact, I could probably live stream it. I know I did a few recordings of it that I haven't posted yet, mainly because I'm planning on using it as like B-roll for a vlog, or just for vlogs in general. If I just need to have something in the background to be more interesting than just my face. What else I've been playing? A tiny bit of Splatoon here and there. Overwatch here and there, and though I stopped playing it as of now, mainly because it takes up a lot of time, I've been bouncing between Tales of Severia and Tales of Berseria. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing either of those names right, but that's something I've been doing. I played Berseria first, but I wanted to get like a solid opinion on Severia myself rather than just, going by what people say about it. Definitely slightly better than I thought for Severia, but still a bit for me so far. People weren't exaggerating about like how bad the camera could get in battles. Like, that game was not designed with close quarter tiny rooms battles in mind, and that happens a lot in the game too. Okay, so oops, keep forgetting. Gotta lasso this. Woo! Yeah, that looks weird. I think my hand kind of looks weird from that as well. Yeah, it's on early access in on Steam, but it's pretty fleshed out. From what I read about the updates about it, it's nearing full release, but it's definitely worth it. I believe it's on sale actually right now for like $12. Oh, Xillia 1 and 2 are my favorite Tales games. Xillia 1 for the story and Xillia 2 just for improving the gameplay so much. But damn, does that game lag. It really needs like a PS4 release just to like smooth up all the pop in and the slowdown that happens in battles. Okay, so let's race to it. Yeah, let's just only include the knuckles for those two spots. Bit stylized. Yeah. I wonder what the next Tales game is going to be. Yeah, the story is really dark. It's probably one of the more darker stories. I would say Berseria is a little bit more like overtly more dark, while Xillia is more subtly dark because it doesn't actually tell you a lot of the more darker aspects. It just kind of leaves you to think about it, which is what makes it so good. And for like Tales of Xillia 2, despite the like premise of the story being like super fanfiction-y when you think about it, with alternate dimensions and stuff like that, with the silent brand new protagonists, but like it really runs with the idea of it, like especially destroying all the fracture dimensions and how they kind of rub it in your face of like, oh hey, yeah, you kind of destroyed several realities, killed millions of people. Yeah. Yeah, and the Blood Brothers ending is like, yeah, the Blood Brothers ending is just like kind of cool how like they just kind of give the option to do that. And there's also the whole thing with Fractured Dimension Mila as well. Like that's pretty dark. But it's his real bro. Yeah. When the other Mila during the scene where they're trying to summon I forgot the fancy Edward Scissorhands guy, the jerk. Yeah. During the scene where Fraction Dimension Mila was about to die and drop into like the big pit thing that would summon the real Mila, like I accidentally let her hand go like right off the bat, and I just felt like, oh no, I did the wrong choice. So what I did was that I risked going through the entire dungeon again because I stupidly didn't save, just so I can get back to that point and not let go of her hand, because man, I felt bad. I felt real bad. This is kind of okay, and it's weird. I guess I just hold my mug weird. I just hold things weird. Well, except the pencil. Or stylus in this case. Okay. I'm tired of this mug. Want to do another? More mugs! Okay. Let's just do some other poses. Boop, boop, okay. New 2 folders. Let's grab all these images. That's a lot. Okay. Copy. Illustration. My next some things. Basic poses. Okay. I'm gonna be right back real quick. Need to go to the bathroom. always keep a roll of toilet paper in your room, just in case you ever need to dry off your hands. Okay. Minimize that. Okay. Pen. There we go. So, I don't feel like color correcting every single one of these. So, what I'm going to do is do a overlay white. Boom. Put it down to about 60%, and now we can see the details just a tiny bit better. Make this the sketch basic poses. Boom. Boom. Okay. I'm a tri gamer. I PC, I Sony, and I Nintendo. Mainly because I just like having consoles. I just find playing games on consoles really fun, especially now with the Switch. I have a PS4 Pro, and I also have a decent gaming PC. It's not the best PC ever. I mainly actually got it just so I can live stream video content and digitally art create a little bit more. If I had the choice, I would play games on consoles, but if there's a big mod scene I would be interested in, I would typically play on PC. One of my biggest nitpicks for PC games is, since I use a PlayStation 4 controller, there's usually like 9 times out of 10 no option to switch it to PlayStation buttons, even though those games existed on PlayStation consoles. Especially like when it comes to the Disgaea games, even though they were pretty much exclusive to like Sony consoles, with the exception of like the first game, which also appeared on DS, it never had the option for adding in PlayStation buttons, even though they're already, made for that game. But the PC versions just don't have them, and it's so annoying. And since I'm used to the Nintendo layout buttons, I'm not used to X being to the left and Y being up. I'm used to reverse. And it just, I hate it. I hate it. Why can't there just be an options in the settings to switch it? I was actually pleasantly surprised that Rise of the Tomb Raider actually had that, since I got that on Steam. Anyway. Enough of me complaining about stupid PC games not having PlayStation buttons. Okay. Basic shaping. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah! Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. I know everyone likes to, pretty much sing the praises about the Xbox controller, but I never liked the Xbox controller. It's just a personal thing. I just never liked it. Like, I always prefer the layout of the PlayStation controller better. I just like having both my analog sticks below. That's just a preference. But I also love the Pro controller. I wish I had... I really do like the Pro controller, though. The D-pad sucks on the Pro controller. It's not the best. And recently, my Pro controller's analog stick, if you hold just straight forward, it starts to fidget. Like, if you look at the calibration thing on the Switch settings, it kind of, like, jerks back a bit in terms of, like, how it reads it. So I would have to constantly reconnect my controller to the Switch. Yeah, and I think that's because of Super Mario Odyssey. Like, you know, I love that game at a design standpoint, but at a control standpoint, I can't stand it in a lot of cases because of the fact that a lot of the motion control is forced, and with a lot of the motion control things for the captures is just to simply move faster, and you can't just shake the controller because they won't move. Like the Paraguma, if you use the Paraguma's shake, he flaps faster, and he's supposed to move faster with it. But if you don't also hold it up on the analog stick, he doesn't move. So you have to hold up while also shaking your controller. I never really noticed a difference, personally, since I keep my controllers for the most part plugged in 90% of the time when it comes to battery life. But when you're shaking the controller, I just kept accidentally jamming my analog stick forward, and I think that's what caused it. So I have even more reason to not like Odyssey's controls because I think they permanently screwed up my Pro controller. I've been wanting to get the Xenoblade one for a while now, but dang, like if I were just reconnected with the like little sync button here, it tends to work a lot better again, but still I do notice it sometimes when playing Splatoon, and like if you're not holding all the way forward, the character moves a lot slower, especially while swimming. So yeah. I also have, though, as a backup, the Hori Pro controller, officially licensed, and this is actually surprisingly comfortable. It's probably a lot more closer to an Xbox controller in terms of like overall design, but it is it is good. It's a good second player controller since it doesn't have any form of rumble or gyroscope. So it's a great second player controller if you just ever need one for like $30. Huh. Well, like I said, I usually keep my controllers plugged in like 90% of the time, so I just personally just don't notice. Okay, that's our basic for this one. Shove it right over there. I think I'm going to do 2 more hands and I'll end the stream because I'm kind of getting hungry, and this is in like the next 30 minutes. That's usually when people start coming home. So, yeah. On my monitor, the contrast is a bit weird, where darks are a lot more darker. So I'm having to look at OBS to kind of sketch out like the clothing here. Like specifically around this area, it's like almost like completely black for me. I'm gonna exaggerate the pinky a bit here. I played a bit of Animal Crossing on the DS. I think I will be more interested in Stardew Valley. I haven't played that one yet. But I've also been interested in Rune Factory, which is like an action RPG cousin to Harvest Moon. So yeah, I am interested. But I also am really bad about checking in on daily things. Like with Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile, I'm really bad about going in and get my daily bonus. If I'm getting Stardew Valley, I'm probably going to get it on Switch or PC. Now it's also on PlayStation. But if it's on Switch, you know, you get that portability aspect to it. My nose is itchy. Streams. Hands. Okay. Okay. Okay, one thing I am going to do, instead of doing a few more hands, I want to show you dead cells. So, let's here, grab this. Was that? Dead Cells. Okay. Live dashboard. Do. Okay, this is Dead Cells. It's a fun game. Okay, let's get my controller in a comfy position. So, in Dead Cells, obviously it's a 2D Metroidvania. This shows you like your item collection up to that point. Yeah, I'll get this. Once you get to like every like middle or transition to the next part of the stage, you get to these rest points, which you can get your health refilled. You deposit any cells you get. You kind of consider the cells like your souls, and you use it to like unlock various things like additional health flasks, better gold recovery, better recycling, and stuff like that. So I'm just getting this, then I'm going to get the Impaler and maybe like a lightning bolt after that. I like getting the 2 health back for every kill. Yeah, it's a very good looking game. One thing that you definitely tell how they made the sprites, or actually I believe are just filtered 3D models, because you can see it like with how the shading is on the guy's shoulder pad. Yeah, it is really fast pace. Unlike Dark Souls, where your character's purpose controls clunky, this game is all about making sure you're buttery smooth and these are time doors. You have to get these within a certain period of time, and you get various bonuses. You can tell, like, in this game, the models are technically 3D, and they're just using a filter to make it look sprited, or if it's, like, rotoscoped or something like that. because of the, like, just how smooth the models are and how, like, three-dimensional they look. It's easier to tell on the enemies and stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot, you can't roll through obstacles. Okay, these things, you get these little statue dummy things, and if any enemies are near around it, they're invincible for like extended periods of time. So you definitely want to go after that. Here you get various chests. Ooh, another infantry bow. It's probably, yeah. It's just a higher grade version. There we go. Yeah, I think. Ah, finally some abilities. And... abilities are essentially secondary weapons that go on your L2 and R2 buttons. And they have cooldowns and stuff, while your main two weapons, which can be swapped with what would be square. They essentially work just the same no matter which button they're equipped on. But you essentially got melee, and you got melee, spell, and bows. Bows take up ammo. Spells don't usually stun your opponent, with the exception of like the frost-based ones. And melee are melee. You usually want a melee and like either a bow or a spell deck. Can't go up there. I don't have any welcome abilities. Okay. Ooh, I can get the Hunter's Grenade. That means every time I start a new run or die, I now get a random grenade, which is pretty cool. One thing about the abilities, you'll see that they have 3 categories: brutality, tactics, and survival, which relate to your levels. Your levels you can upgrade with the various scrolls that you can find, either an all-rounder scroll where you can choose one of the 3, or a scroll that only allows you to choose one of 2. And brutality usually increases melee weapons. Tactics usually increase ranged and more strategic weapons. A lot of abilities are considered tactic based, though there are hybrids like the infantry bow, as you see there. And survival is usually stuff based around shields or heavy weapons like claymores and hammers. And with them, usually they have like HP recovery, like as you see, get a couple of HP from each kill, or that amount for like every shield parry. And if you level up the corresponding level of these abilities, you get bigger effects. Like this was originally +2 to every kill, but since I leveled it up, it's +3. You know, tactics is, I believe, supposed to be 30% cooldown, but now it's at 43% minus. And those are usually the 2 that I usually go for. While you're in these kind of rest areas, the timer is paused, so you can take as much time as you like, so that you can get to the time doors without worrying about your prep. And I think the time door here is 9 minutes or 8 minutes, so I might not be able to get to it. Or it might be 10 minutes, actually. It's 9 minutes, but we gotta be very quick. There we go. Upgrades. Yeah, lots of cells. That's the main benefit of getting those doors, is that you get a lot of cells out of them. Ooh, freeze. Focusing a bit more on tactics because that's what I have more gear of, and I don't have the guns for that. Okay, now we're getting to our first real boss. Black Bridge has the I believe it's called the incomplete one. Should we get lane mode? Just focus on that. And with this, I want twice as much ammo. After I kill this boss, I think I'm just gonna call it for the day. Woo! And if you get it under 16 minutes, get more monies. Hey, more souls. Or cells. This guy's a collector, so you can spend 30 to essentially upgrade something. Which is really good. But I don't want to upgrade something right now. I want to finish off the spear. Tranquility. It deals about 131 damage for a while there's no enemies. What? Okay. Okay, so I got 16 left. Dump this into the spear I just got. So next time I come back here, it's halfway done. Yeah, you can only have about 3 mutations at once. Like I said, that is it for today. And one thing about the game, don't be afraid to return to the menu, because when you resume the current run, you just start off exactly where you were. Or you can choose to start from the beginning of the prison cells. So yeah, that's Dead Souls. Anyway, thanks Tyrone for coming by and giving me some advice and stuff like that. I hope you have a nice day, and I'm gonna go get lunch. Bye-bye!